Hello, sports fan. This is Stephen Hill for JustMyPicks.com, and I'm bringing you the top 10 running backs that are going to be the top 10 for the 2016 season. We're going to hop right into the action without any further ado. Let's go ahead and get into the action. Coming in at number 10, we have Chris Ivory, formerly of the New York Jets, now with the Jacksonville Jaguars. I can't say this enough. Last year, we saw Chris Ivory do a lot of damage against a lot of teams. Late in the fourth quarter, he took a lot of punishment, but he also dished out a lot of punishment. I think the young Jacksonville Jaguars with Blake Bortles and the Allen guys down there, they're going to need somebody in the fourth quarter after they put up a couple of leads on a couple of good teams. They're going to need somebody that can be the sledgehammer for that defense, for that offense, excuse me. And I think that Chris Ivory is going to be a perfect fit. That young offensive line down there in Jacksonville is going to be able to get the job done. They just need Chris Ivory's leadership in the fourth quarter, no fumbling in football, and I think that the possible Jacksonville Jaguars could make the playoffs this year. Coming at number 9. His replacement in New York, you're looking at Matt Forte, a guy that can do a lot of things out of the backfield. He can block well. He can catch the ball well. He also can run the ball well. You're looking at last few years, the Chicago Bears have been a mainstay with his offensive output. Something like 40+% of their plays have been going through Matt Forte. You're looking at catching the ball. You're looking at running the ball. He does it all. The guy does everything and passes the ball sometimes when he does get the ball. So looking overall at his stats, he is suffering from I want to say a quad injury or a hamstring injury. I think that he can shake that. They're going to rest him going into the regular season. I think he'll bounce back very well. Next up, Devonta Freeman. Devonta Freeman of the Atlanta Falcons, I think he had a good year last year. I think people weren't checking for him. I think that he had a lot of success in that offense, and you look at Julio Jones being possibly the only other weapon that they had when Julio was healthy, and you're looking at now, people are going to key on Freeman. Even though they're going to have Julio Jones back there trying to bust open secondaries, Devonta Freeman's going to have to hold on to the ball, and not to mention, he would be higher on this list, but the Atlanta Falcons are going to a two-back system, so I don't know if that's going to be a positive for him as far as his workload moving the football. But I think that overall he's going to have a pretty good season, and that's why I have him at number 7. Coming in at number 6, the muscle hamster, Doug Martin, down there in Tampa. You look at Jameis Winston and how he came on the last 8 games of the season versus the first 8, his rookie season, if you will. And you're looking at some of the transition and some of the things that he's done to become a better quarterback. I think Doug Martin is going to be a better running back because of Jameis Winston getting the respect from DBs and the linebackers and being able to look off a couple of people and run different plays for Doug Martin, that he will pick up large chunks of yards, and you'll see him have a breakout year like he did a couple of years ago and how he tore through the NFL. I think that he comes in at this spot where he belongs, and I think that overall you're looking at what he possibly could do with those big juggernauts. Vincent on one side, and you have Mike Evans on the other side, 2 twin towers. They're playing basketball on football. So just having the big guys on the outside also put him back there. He can do a lot of damage. Coming in next is Ezekiel Elliott, the Dallas Cowboys prize rookie running back. I know that he hasn't done anything yet in the NFL. That offensive line in Dallas is pretty damn good. Coming from an Eagles fan, I'm telling you guys, this guy is going to be good. I hate it. I hate that we're going to have to face him 2 times a year. But I think Ezekiel Elliott is going to be a standout, possibly rookie of the year for the offensive side of the ball. The way that he ran at Ohio State is going to be the same way he runs here, north and south. It's not a lot of dancing, not a lot of juking. He's going to put his nose in north and south, and he's going to go straight forward. That offensive line is going to create a lot of holes. Also, they're going to run the ball a lot because they want to keep Tony Romo healthy throughout the season. They don't want him taking a lot of hits, a lot of damage. So I think you'll see Ezekiel Elliott carry the ball a lot, and it's going to be running back by committee, but he's going to get the workload of those guys. You look at Alfred Morris from the Cowboys, that's on the Cowboys now from the Redskins, and you're looking at Darren McFadden. I don't think none of those guys are going to take carries away from this guy, and he's possibly going to play first, second, and third down. So you look at that being a positive. Next up, if he can stay healthy, LeSean McCoy. LeSean McCoy is great in the passing game. He's also great in the run game. You look at what he can do in Philadelphia. Look at what he could do when he was healthy in Buffalo. So you're looking at this guy and saying, if all these parts work together, Sammy Watkins stays healthy. You look at the quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, if he can stay healthy. If the offensive line can stay healthy, I think he's going to have a great year. I think that you have to look at Tom Brady not being in the first 4 games. They can seriously make some noise, and LeSean McCoy could carry them to a 3-1 record to start the season if they are lucky and he stays healthy. Coming in at number 4, just looking down David Johnson of the Arizona Cardinals. David Johnson is a sledgehammer. We saw him last year come out of nowhere when Chris Johnson got hurt. And you're looking at the power he possesses, the speed he possesses. Against my Philadelphia Eagles, he had a monstrous day in fantasy. He went all crazy, catching the ball and running the ball. I think that he's going to be the feature back, if you will, in Arizona. And I think that Chris Johnson with him, they're going to be a powerful tandem as far as running the football. And I think that they learned last year going against the Carolina Panthers, they cannot finesse the ball. They have to run the ball a little bit more. Even though you do have Larry Fitzgerald and you do have fine receivers out there in Arizona, you're going to have to run the football if you want to win an NFL Super Bowl. I think he comes right there, and he deserves to be out in that spot. I expect great things from him next year. I think that with Carson Palmer being healthy, they're going into an offseason where he's the feature guy and getting a lot of the touches. He's going to get the job done. Next up, we have Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson is Wolverine of the X-Men. I'm just saying, he heals so quickly from injuries. He bounces back from things. You look at him tearing knee ligaments and ACLs, MCLs, PCLs, whatever you want to call it. He still comes back, and he's phenomenal each and every year. The guy has no fear. He takes on 8 men in the box, 9 men in the box, 10 men in the box, and still somehow gets 100 yards a game. You're looking at the Minnesota Vikings. Are they going to be as good as advertised? I do not know, but I know they're going to have a healthy dose of Adrian Peterson. Teddy Bridgewater needs to get it together. This is a make or break year for Teddy Bridgewater. I think that he has to put all his marbles on the table and get the job done for the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think they're going to win the division again like they did last year, but this goes to show Adrian Peterson is going to get his regardless if the team is good or not, regardless if they have an offensive line or not. Adrian Peterson is the man amongst boys, and he will get his. So that's why he's right there at number 3. Coming in at number 2, you have Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley came on last year after missing a couple of games or being hurt. Obviously, we all know what happened at Georgia with that knee injury. And he showed us that, look, it doesn't matter if you start the beginning of the season. It doesn't matter if you come in the mid-season. He ran like a man possessed. A man possessed not only to be Rookie of the Year, but to be an outstanding football player in general. He blocked well. He caught the ball out the backfield. But most importantly, he hit the holes and he got where he needed to go. Todd Gurley is one of those different dimension type of backs. He can change gears. He's shifty. He has the juke move ability, but he has the burst of speed also to get out there. The strong, stiff arm. A lot of things that I saw from the Los Angeles Rams last year when they was in St. Louis, they played extremely well. You're going to be playing in an outdoor stadium this year, and I think that that's going to help better with a couple of the, as far as the climate goes, as far as him being warm and being ready to go out there. I don't think it's going to be a lot of rain next year. So when I'm looking at Todd Gurley, I'm expecting him to do a lot of the things he did last year. And now you got to keep in mind he has to protect the #1 overall pick in the NFL draft at quarterback position. So he's going to have a lot on his plate, and they're going to ask him to do a lot more. He's going to produce a lot more. I think Todd Gurley coming into the season is going to be his first full healthy season in the NFL. And if he was hurt last year doing that, imagine what he could do 100% healthy. Todd Gurley coming in at number 2. And even though he may face suspension coming into the NFL season this year, Le'Veon Bell. Let's face it, Le'Veon Bell is the best NFL running back. He can catch well. He can block well. He can run the ball well. When the Pittsburgh Steelers have this guy on the field, their offense is so much more dynamic. He's almost as good as Antonio Brown as far as the dynamics of what he can actually do. He's shape-shifty. He shifts. He jukes. He blocks. He does the intricacies that make the team go and do what it has to do. He stays on the field first, second, and third down when he's not injured. But you got to keep in mind, he has to stay out of trouble. I think that this guy is a talented guy, and he really can make noise for the Pittsburgh Steelers once coming back from that 4-game suspension for missing the drug test. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, if they're smart, they get somebody, they pull him in line and say, look, this is what you have to do, or you're not going to be a member of this team, because the kid has that much talent coming out of Michigan State. He is phenomenal, and I think he's going to lead a lot of running backs in fantasy, even though he missed the first 4 games. Be careful and watch out. He just may have the most yards in fantasy this year. These are my top 10 running backs of 2016, my predictions. Tell me what you guys think. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Leave all your comments in the comment section below. Also, check out justmypicks.com for all the breaking news, all the hottest updates in sports. And as always, check us out next week where we're dropping some more NFL videos. Thank you so very much, and we'll see you next week.